Here's everything we know about a potential Season 6 for the hit series Yellowstone. Well, ever since the dramatic conclusion of Yellowstone Season 5, fans have been left wondering, is this truly the end or just the end of the beginning? See, Paramount originally billed the second half of Season 5 as the final chapter, and in it, patriarch John Dutton, played by Kevin Costner, is assassinated in his own home, and the sprawling Dutton Ranch is sold to Thomas Rainwater as part of a wildlife preserve. But as is common in Hollywood, a definitive end often means a strategic pivot. Creator Taylor Sheridan has been busy expanding the Yellowstone universe. Prequels like 1883 and 1923 have launched, and multiple spin-offs are in development. Among them, The Madison, starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Matthew Fox, a rumored Casey-centric follow-up, and even a potential show based on the Four Sixes Ranch in Texas that may not be finished yet. So is Season 6 actually coming? Well, in simple terms, yes and no. Reports suggest Paramount shelved a traditional Season 6 in favor of a Beth and Rip spin-off, tentatively titled Dutton Ranch, which for all intents and purposes is Season 6 without the label. In fact, Kelly Reilly and Cole Hauser have confirmed via social media that it's more than just rumors. The working theory? Skip labeling it Season 6, even though it continues the narrative directly. It allows Paramount to market the show fresh while retaining the Yellowstone brand's power. Early reports suggest it'll stream in fall 2025, with Beth and Rip relocating near Dillon, Montana. And with John Dutton gone, the Dutton siblings were left standing. Beth Dutton pours her inheritance into the land, and her arc ends in a new chapter with Rip. Casey Dutton, fresh off selling the ranch, dreams of tending a smaller, manageable spread on the reservation. Jamie Dutton meets a dramatic end, killed by Beth after his betrayal. And Thomas Rainwater takes full ownership of the original ranch, uniting the land and the culture. Luke Grimes, who plays Casey, shared that continuing the show without Kevin Costner's John Dutton felt narrative-wise like it was pushing a boulder uphill. Casey wants a slice of heaven, not another war, he said. That's part of why the focus is shifting towards Beth and Rip's quieter life. Paramount's strategy hinges on expansion without dilution. Prequels like 1923, which just renewed for Season 2, and The Madison show how Taylor Sheridan's world keeps growing into new timelines and genres. Meanwhile, Dutton Ranch picks up exactly where viewers expect, with familiar faces, deep emotional stakes, and plenty of Western grit. The advantage? A new narrative soft launch that avoids both franchise fatigue and the pressure of matching the original flagship's brand weight. Fan reaction to Costner's exit was mixed and emotional, needless to say, with some even calling the finale BS due to his abrupt assassination. Meanwhile, cast members such as Luke Grimes, Wes Bentley, and Kelly Reilly have praised the finale as both heartbreaking and profound, a fitting conclusion for many, but a cliffhanger for others. Despite wrap-ups in Season 5, numerous threads remain untangled. Jamie's betrayal still looms, Sarah Atwood's motivations feel murky, and even Casey's emotional future is uncertain. That's why speculation runs hot. Novels like The Four Sixes, 1944, and even Why Marshals, a new series centered on Casey as a series regular, are all part of Taylor Sheridan's multi-story universe. Additionally, Kevin Costner's scheduling conflicts and rumored tension with both Sheridan and Paramount added to the media storm. And while Costner publicly denied reduced involvement, speculation remains a key part of the story behind the scenes. So you following here? Season 6 isn't coming to name, it's being rebranded as Dutton Ranch, starring Beth and Rip. Spin-offs, The Madison, 1923, Four Sixes, and 1944, are expanding the Sheridan-verse in new directions, and viewers can expect a fall 2025 release for Dutton Ranch, with further spin-offs into 2026 and beyond. And the final chapters of Season 5 closed important arcs, but also left enough loose threads to fuel new storytelling. If Dutton Ranch is indeed the spiritual successor to Yellowstone, then the tone of the series is due for a shift. Less dynastic conflict, more personal survival and internal growth. At the heart of it will be Beth and Rip, two of the most compelling and volatile characters from the original run. And the relocation to Dillon, Montana isn't just a change of scenery, it's a metaphorical reset. Gone are the sweeping boardroom power grabs, the daily political battles of being governor, the tension of war against the reservation or big business, and in their place, a much smaller, more intimate focus. That's not to say the new show will be free from conflict. After all, Beth Dutton never enters a room quietly, as we know. But it does suggest Sheridan is moving away from the Shakespearean scale of the first 5 seasons and into something more character-driven, possibly even redemptive. Cole Hauser, who plays Rip, teased this pivot in an interview earlier this year, saying they've been through hell together. Now it's time to see what peace looks like for them, or at least try to find it. That alone opens narrative possibilities. What does a happy ending look like for characters forged in trauma? And can a Dutton ever truly escape their legacy? In many ways, Dutton Ranch mirrors what the Breaking Bad universe did with El Camino, a smaller, more personal follow-up that wraps up one character's story while leaving the door open for new ones. With Beth and Rip out of the political drama of Yellowstone proper, Sheridan can now explore the complexities of love, guilt, trauma, and loyalty without constantly escalating towards large-scale war. Still, the DNA of Yellowstone remains intact. This is a world of land and legacy, of unspoken codes and brutal consequences. We can expect that Beth and Rip won't settle quietly into the sunset. Their arrival in a new town is bound to ruffle some feathers, of course. Maybe the local ranchers don't take kindly to outsiders. Maybe old enemies resurface, or maybe they'll just be haunted by what they left behind. But let's be clear, even if this isn't called Yellowstone Season 6, for fans, that's exactly what this is. The narrative is being passed on directly. The aesthetic, characters, and tone come straight from the flagship. It's Sheridan doing what he does best, rooting personal struggle in the soil of the American West. Now let's talk about what this shift means for the wider Yellowstone universe. Taylor Sheridan is a world builder. He's not interested in just telling one story, he's building a mythos. And with 1883, he showed us the brutal frontier beginnings of the Dunn legacy. With 1923, he revealed the fragility of power and tradition in a rapidly changing world. And now, with Dutton Ranch, we see the consequences of generational decisions, the emotional toll of maintaining control, and what's left when power is actually stripped away. The reason these series work is that they speak to something primal. The West has always been a huge canvas for American identity, ambition, freedom, violence, and survival. Sheridan taps into that better than almost anyone else in modern television. But it's also why Yellowstone had to evolve. By the time Season 5 aired, some critics argued the series was already bloated. There were too many characters, too many subplots. The stakes felt forced. And Costner's exit only magnified the sense that the show was running out of road. But Sheridan's a master of turning endings into beginnings. And the fallout of John Dunn's death reshuffles the narrative deck. Beth and Rip's departure creates space, and Casey's uncertain future opens the door for further storytelling, potentially in another spin-off down the line. There are rumors of a project that focuses on him and his work with tribal law enforcement. That show could take on a more procedural structure, exploring crimes across Montana's rural expanse while deepening Casey's role as moral compass. And then there's the potential return of characters like Jimmy from the 4-6's Ranch. 4-6's spinoff is still in active development, reportedly now with a more modern cowboy ethos. It's said to be less melodrama, more ranching reality. That series could expand the brand while staying true to its roots, and Sheridan's strengths ultimately lie in tone. Whether it's a prequel, sequel, or side story, everything feels like Yellowstone. The dust, the drawl, the simmering tension, it's all there. That consistency gives fans confidence that even if Kevin Costner's not involved, the essence of the show endures. Still, it's impossible to discuss Yellowstone's future without acknowledging the impact of Costner's departure. His absence isn't just a narrative change, it's a seismic shift in audience expectation. Some longtime viewers feel the show can't continue without its central figure. Remember The Office without Steve Carell? Others are more optimistic, though, pointing out that Beth and Rip have become fan-favorite characters in their own right, more than capable of carrying a show. Costner himself remains somewhat of a wild card. While he's publicly said he wishes the team well, he's also been candid about his frustrations with the production schedule and how it interfered with his own passion project, Horizon, an American saga. Rumors swirl that he could return in flashbacks or even a prequel series, but for now, Yellowstone moves forward without him. And frankly, it must. The landscape of prestige television is more competitive than ever. Paramount knows this, and that's why they've rebranded and recalibrated. By turning Season 6 into Dutton Ranch, they signal both continuity and reinvention. It's familiar, but it's not the same. It's honoring the legacy while writing a new chapter. The big question, though, is how this new era will land with fans. Historically, fan bases resist change. Just look at what happened with Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead. But Yellowstone might buck that trend. Unlike those shows, this pivot isn't about wrapping things up prematurely or salvaging decline. It's about evolution. Sheridan isn't reacting to failure, he's responding to reality. Actor availability, audience fatigue, and the sheer size of the ensemble meant something had to give, so he streamlined, he sharpened the focus, and if early reports are correct, he's created a series that's tighter, more intimate, and emotionally richer than its predecessor. So what can fans expect from Dutton Ranch? Well, for starters, a deeper dive into Beth and Rip's relationship. With the chaos of the Dutton family behind them, they'll now face new kinds of pressure, internal, not external. And that could mean marital tension, questions about legacy, or even the unexpected challenge of parenting. There's also the location itself. Dillon, Montana isn't just a backdrop, it's a new frontier. The town is real, but less developed in the Yellowstone lore. That gives Sheridan plenty of creative room. Maybe there's a new cattle war, maybe Rip finds work as a foreman, maybe Beth goes into local politics. The possibilities are wide open. And finally, there's the wild card factor. Taylor Sheridan himself. The man's a storytelling machine. In the past 3 years alone, he's launched Mayor of Kingstown, Tulsa King, Special Ops Lioness, and more. He understands the balance between artistry and audience. He knows how to keep viewers hooked without pandering. And with Dutton Ranch, he's poised to do it again. So while Yellowstone as we knew it may be over, the spirit of the show certainly lives on. In Beth's fury, in Rip's loyalty, in the sweeping vistas, and the quiet standoffs, in the blood, and in the land. See, this isn't just a spin-off, it's a continuation of something mythic. And for fans wondering if the Dutton legacy still matters, the answer is yes, it always has.